comprising 90 countries and the European Union. The countries in G20 are Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Republic of Korea, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Turkey, the United Kingdom, and the United States and the European Union. The G20 members represent around 85% of global GDP, over 75% of global trade, and about two-thirds of the world population. The G20 Summit is held annually under the leadership of a rotating presidency. The G20 presidency steers the G20 agenda for 1 year and hosts the summit. The G20 consists of two parallel tracks: the finance track led by finance ministers and central governors, and the Sherpa track led by Sherpas. G20 was founded in 1999 after the Asian financial crisis as a forum for the finance ministers and central bank governors to discuss global economic and financial issues. Later, it was upgraded to the level of heads of state or government in the wake of the global economic and financial crisis of 2007, and in 2009 was designated the premier forum for international economic cooperation. Initially, it focused largely on broad macroeconomic issues and later expanded its agenda among other things including trade, climate change, sustainable development, health, agriculture, energy, environment, and anti-corruption. The theme of India's G20 presidency is Vasudhaiva Kudambakam, or One Earth, One Family, One Future. The theme is derived from the ancient Sanskrit text of the Maha-Upanishad. Essentially, the theme affirms values of all life, human, animal, plant, and microorganisms, and their interconnectedness on the planet Earth and in the wider universe. C20 provides a platform for civil society organizations around the world to bring forth a non-government and non-business voice to G20. It provides a space through which civil society organizations can contribute in a structured and sustained manner to the G20. C20 consists of 13 working groups. The Government of India has bestowed responsibility to Chinmaya Mission to be the national coordinator of one of the working groups, Vasudhaiva Kudambakam, under C20 2023, nominating Swami Vivekananda as the national coordinator. Now, we shall begin the formal discussion with the roll call. Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Republic of Korea, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Turkey, the United Kingdom, the United States, the European Union.
The delicacy of Argentina, the land of silver. The Argentina is called the land of silver as silver sources are present in the interior of South America. Argentina home to 37.5% of total Italian speakers in the world and the contributor of tango to the world, well known for its passion for salsa. Our culture is a mixture of many other cultures and has been largely influenced by the Spanish colonialism and immigrants from all around the world and mostly from Europe. Our country has proven its capacity to lead the meeting and to find consensus on sensitive issues such as international trade, excessive capacity, as well as the role of Paris Agreement in the areas of climate change and the way in which the 2013 agenda should be addressed. The G20 is a logistic challenge. Our country expects to convey close to 20,000 government representatives over 16 meetings on 10 different provinces throughout the year. The scope of agenda has broadened to include economic, financial work stream, land themselves to coordinate global actions such as sustainable development, trade, agriculture, migration, etc. Thank you.
Australia.
Good morning to the delegates and the chairperson, the delegate of Australia.
Australia is the largest country in the Oceania and the world's sixth largest country. It is known for many things including its tropical beaches, marine reservoirs, aboriginal culture and cute koalas growing in the country. Its population of over 27 million is highly urbanized and concentrated on the eastern seaboard. Most of the population speak the language English, but the rest of people are different and very cultural tolerant. Most of the population in our country follow the religion Christianity, but the non-Christians follow the religion Sikhism, Buddha, Islam, Hinduism, but there are still a majority of people who are non-religious. Our country hosted G20 in 2015. Our topic was sustainable development, financial resolutions, poverty reduction. Our country was constituted with other G20 economies for a developed country for a developed growth of world economy, sustainable development plan and balanced and inclusive global economic growth. Thank you.
Thank you, delegates. Next, the delegate of Brazil.
Brought to you, honorable guests, respected gentlemen and ladies. Brazil, a nation that embraces its rich culture, celebrates its economic growth, and navigates the intricate world of politics. As a new member of the esteemed G20 community, Brazil is poised to contribute to the global discussions and collaborate with fellow nations in pursuit of a brighter future for all. Culture has always been at the heart of Brazil's identity. From the vibrant rhythms of samba to the mesmerizing moments of capoeira, our cultural tapestry weaves together diverse influence and traditions. Our commitment to preserving and promoting culture heritage is unwavering, as we recognize the power of art, music, and literature to bridge gaps and foster understanding among nations. Our entry into G20 provides a platform to showcase our cultural treasures and foster cultural exchange, promoting unity in diversity. Brazil's economic progress is a testament to our resilience and entrepreneurial spirit. Over the years, our nation has witnessed substantial growth, emerging as one of the world's leading economies. By embracing innovation, nurturing small business, and implementing prudent fiscal policies, Brazil has attracted investment, generated employment, and improved the lives of its citizens. As a G20 member, we are committed to following sustainable economic development, promoting trade and investment, and collaborating with other nations to address global economic challenges. In the realm of politics, Brazil values democratic principles and debates this rule of law. We have embarked on a journey of strengthening democratic institutions, promoting transparency, and combating corruption. We understand the significance of good governance in fostering sustainable development and nurturing a conducive environment for both domestic and international investments. As a responsible member of G20, Brazil is committed to upholding democratic values, fostering international cooperation, and working together with fellow nations to address global challenges. In conclusion, Brazil's entry to G20 makes a significant milestone in our nation's history. We bring with us a driven by innovation, a commitment to social progress, and dedication to democratic principles. Thank you, and may our discussions during this G20 Summit lead to fruitful collaborations and meaningful outcomes. Thank you.
Thanks, delegates. The delegate of Canada.
Good afternoon. As the delegate of Canada in this G20 meeting, I'm going to be talking about the culture of Canada today. We Canadians show social elements like literature, art, and music to represent our culture. In its broader sense, our country's culture is a mixture of British, French, and American influences, all of which blend and even compete in every aspect of cultural life. Our official languages are English and French. Art, such as stone and gold sculptures, basket making, and carvings, are particularly popular. Most of the best arts and crafts exhibit unique characteristics that identify the regions in which they were made. Many places in Canada, both natural features and human inhabitants, use indigenous names. The name Canada itself derives from the word Canada, meaning village or settlement. The name of the Canada's capital city, Ottawa, comes from the term Agave, meaning to trade. Our country has been a successful entrepreneurial conceiver, normative, and policy since the start of G20. There is so much to learn about the Canadian culture, but I have to stop here. Thank you for your time.
Shashank, the delegate of China. China Officially, the People's Republic of China is a country in East Asia. Today, the Chinese government has accepted numerous elements of traditional Chinese society being integral part of Chinese. With the rise of the Chinese nationalism and the end of Cultural Revolution, various forms of traditional Chinese art, literature, music, film, fashion, and architecture has seen a vigorous revival, and folk and particular art also given a spark in the variety of arts in globally and in national level. Our country's tourism has estimated over 6 billion travelers within the country in 2019. Our country's literature is based on the literature of Zhou dynasty. Our country's cuisine is highly diverse. Our country's architecture is embodiment of the architecture style that has been developed over a millennia. The hanfu is the traditional dress of Han people in our country, and kippa is the famous dress that is followed by female in our country. We undertook the presidency of G20 in 2016. The strengthening the international growth, promoting trade opens, and a global policy agenda of structural reforms coupled with fiscal support for demand. Amazing cuisine, literature, fashion, art, all made our country wonderful, beautiful country among the world countries. Shishi.
Thank you, delegate. Next, delegate of France.
A beautiful place which gifted the world equality and fraternity to change the life and fate of many. Delegate of France. The French culture is adorned with various exceptional philosophers, unique literacy and artworks. Officially, the title of our country is French Revolution. The country is home to one of the 7 wonders of the world, Eiffel Tower, and fashion city Paris, which makes the country a major destination for many. Since 2011, when our country hosted and chaired the G20, the summit had been only one-sided. The diplomatic advisor to the president of our country, of our republic, has traditionally taken on the role of G7 and G20 Sherpas meetings to prepare for the G20 Leader Summit. Our country put agriculture and food security at the heart of the G20 priorities. Around this broad theme, it divided the priority of summit into 6 areas. Reform the international monetary system. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Next, the delegate of Germany.
Good morning. Black, red, gold. 3 colors representing the journey out of the blackness of servitude through bloody battles to the golden lights of freedom. Yes, a country which have been unified by the great efforts of many people. The delegates of Germany. Germany is known for its long and rich history, one that has put at the forefront of European truth, politics and art for thousands of years. This country has shaped a culture that combines predominantly. Our country is particularly known for its Oktoberfest celebration, including its carnival culture and globally influential Christmas custom, known as Weihnachten. Our country has hosted G20 presidency in 2016. The main priority of our country was to solve the environmental issues and transition of economic, foreign policies and security issues. Consequences of environmental degradation do not respect to a particular region or a country. It will affect the whole world. Our future is linked together, so our country is ready to support the Indian presidency in their very ambitious and concrete outcomes of key global challenges. Thank you.
India is one of the most religious and ethnically diverse nations in the world, with most of the deeply religious societies and culture. Even then, it is famous for maintaining unity, being secular, and is the largest democracy country in the world. The tricolor flag represents purity, peace, and fertility. Our country has a unique topographical features, and it differs from north to south and east to west. India's culture differs from place to place. The theme of India's G20 presidency is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means one earth, one family, one future. India assumed the G20 presidency of grouping from Indonesia on December 1, 2020.
Selamat pagi
again, the delegates of Indonesia. Our country is the world's largest archipelagic state and the 14th largest country by area. It comprises approximately 70,508 islands and 3 provinces with over 238 million people, and is the world's 4th most populous country and the most populous Muslim majority country. Our government recognizes 6 official religions: Islam, Protestantism, Catholicism, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. The Javanese people are the largest ethnic people in Indonesia, comprising 40% of the total population, and the Sundanese people are the second largest ethnic group in the country. Our country's G20 presidency was based on the theme "Recover Together, Recover Stronger," was emphasized on the fact that G20 is not meant to be a political forum, but to address the issues of economics and development. Our president handed over the G20 presidency to India at the closing ceremony of the 17th Intergovernmental Summit in Paris. Despite all differences in this multicultural society, and there is a true sense of unity among us. Our country is arguably the most geographically and culturally diverse in the world. So it's all about the culture and heritage of Indonesia. Thank you. The delegates of Italy.
Good morning, the honorable guest present. The delegate of Italy. Our country is known for rich tradition, history, and culture. Our country is the world's 24th largest country with 60 million population. Italy is considered as one of the birthplace of Western civilization and a cultural superpower. Italian culture is the culture of Italy, the Romance ethnic group, and an incredibly diverse entire Italian peninsula. Our country is the starting point of phenomena of international impacts such as Roman Republic, Roman Empire, Roman Catholic Church, and many more. The Ministry of Culture of the G20 Group on 13 July 2021 declares that Italy is the world's largest economy, and it was a historic moment for us. On the G20 Declaration of Culture that firmly positions culture as a major engine for sustainable socio-economy. On G20 Declaration on Culture that firmly positions culture as the major economic. Italy also took steps to permanently integrate culture in the G20, including by formalizing the culture working groups to build confidence among members. With this G20 ministerial meeting, we are reinforcing a commitment to make culture central to one of the main forums for international cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you, delegates. The delegates of Japan.
In Ohio, delegates of Japan, our country is member of G20 since 2019. So our country's population is of 127 million people. Our capital is Tokyo. Our official language is Japanese, but there are some other languages spoken. Our culture is based on Buddhism, Hinduism, and Confucianism. Japanese is famous for its gardens and samurai swords. Our country has the third largest economy by nominal GDP after the United States and China. Our country is an incredibly technologically advanced nation, and our country plays a significant role in the G20 and has actively participated in this G20 agenda. And there is a brief overview of Japan's role and contribution in the G20. Economic leadership, host country, policy initiatives, trade and investment, development assistance, and so. So actually I want to talk more about the nation, but I have to stop here. So thank you for your time. From here I will see.
Thank you, delegates. Next, the delegates of the Republic of Korea.
Annyeonghaseyo, the delegates and the chairperson, the delegate of Republic of Korea. The division of our country happened in 1945. Since 1945, our country has been split between the North Korean and South Korean states, resulting in a number of cultural differences that can be observed even today. Our country changed from an undeveloped country to the 11th largest economy globally within one generation. Our country supports religious freedom. There are two main national holidays, the New Year's Day and the Chuseok, that means the 8th full moon. The family unit is an integral part of customs in our country. Arranged marriages are common. Divorce was rare but has become common in the recent years. The country's population is 51,396,896. Equality of both genders is constitutional. Women are considered as more independent than men. Korean cuisine is based on rice, vegetables and meat. Kimchi is a national dish and is eaten with most meals. The music and arts were linked to natural cycles and religion, giving rise to folk culture. The K-pop industry has made our country more popular in the recent years. Bands like BTS and Blackpink has made the language and music of our country more popular. Our country undertook the G20 presidency in 2010. So that's all about the shared culture and historical heritage of our country. Kamsamida.
Yes. Mexico is a rich country in the southern portion of North America. Our country is known for its folk art tradition, mostly derived from the indigenous and Spanish craft. Mexican culture is described as the child of both Western and Native American civilization. Our country is 13th largest country with a population of over 126 million. The Spanish arrival and colonization brought Roman Catholicism to the country, which became the main religion of our country. Our country is the most popular Spanish-speaking country. Our country welcomed the heads of states of G20 during the G20 summit held in Davos, Davos in June 2012. Our country's priorities in the G20 have focused on promoting the social dimension of pandemic response and equitable socio-economic recovery.
Thank you, delegate. Next, the delegate of Russia.
Good morning, the delegate of Russia. Our country is the largest country in the world. It is a country spanning Eastern Europe and North Asia. It is the most populous country in Europe and ninth most populous in the world. The country has a population over 145 million. Its capital and largest city is Moscow. Christianity is the largest religion in our country, followed by 47.4% of the population. Dressing in traditional and business formal attire is standard in our country. Ballet is a popular notable art form coming out of our country, founded in 1776. There are about 120 ethnic groups in our country who spoke more than 100 languages. While Russian is the official language, people also speak English as a second language. Its culture is shaped by an authoritarian way of thinking. Our country's first participation in G20 was in 2013. Our country's main task is to focus G20's efforts on developing measures to stimulate economic growth and create jobs. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Next, the delegate of Saudi Arabia.
Good afternoon, the delegate of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, officially the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, is a country in Western Asia which covers the bulk of Arabian Peninsula, making it as the first largest country in Asia, the second largest in the Arab world, and the largest in Western Asia and the Middle East. Its population is 27 million, including 8.4 million foreign residents. Its capital and largest city is Riyadh. Our country is home to Mecca and Medina, two holiest cities in Islam. The cultural settings of our country is generally influenced by the Arab and Islamic culture. The society is generally deeply religious, conservative, traditional, and family-oriented. The Wahhabi Islamic movement, which arose in the 18th century, now predominates in the country. There are many limitations and prohibitions on behavior and dress, which are strictly enforced both legally and socially. Our country's first participation in the G20 meeting was in 2008 Washington Summit. By then, and as the world suffered from a global crisis, Saudi Arabia was the 10th largest sovereign wealth fund in the world and second largest oil reserve. The 2020 G20 summit was took place in Riyadh, the capital city of Saudi Arabia. However, due to COVID-19 pandemic, it was held virtually. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Next, the delegate of South Africa.
Good morning, one and all. I am the delegate of South Africa. My country is an African continent and it is a biodiversity hotspot with plants and animal life. It has over 60 millions of people in terms of population. My country ranked 24th position. It has 11 official languages. My country has 2 national anthems, one for blacks and one for whites. Earlier, several countries had tied a relationship with South Africa because of the practice of apartheid. South African culture is not a homogeneous but a rather collection of different regions and culture. In conclusion, my country will take G20 presidency in 2025. Thank you.
Good morning to one and all. The dedicated of Turkey. Turkey is a large peninsula that bridges over the continent of Europe and Asia. It is surrounded on 3 sides by the Mediterranean Sea, the Black Sea and the Aegean Sea. The capital of my country is Ankara and the official name of our country is Republic of Turkey. Turkey follows both parliamentary and democratic form of government, and Turkish is the official religion in my country. My country was a founding member of G20 and classified among G7 countries. The country was among the world leading producer of agriculture products, textiles, motor vehicles, construction materials, and the culture of our country is heavy diverse set of elements. The most popular sport of our country is football, and Islam is the largest religion in my country. Turkey is the 9th largest economy in the world, and Turkey is the largest producer of hazelnuts, and it has impressive self-sufficient agriculture. Amazing food, diverse tradition and histories make our country more beautiful and wonderful travel destination. Thank you.
And the delegates, next, the delegates of United Kingdom.
Good morning. As the delegate of UK said that our country is known for its rich culture and diversity. In 2009, the G20 host country was UK. As host, Britain Treasury produced an extended agenda pamphlet proposing the issue to be addressed at the London Summit. The goal was to start the process of reform so as to manage globalization of the force for good in the medium term. Our country, one of the great power, is the significant political power and influence globally. It has the world's fifth largest economy by nominal GDP. The London Summit was a preliminary step in the process through which the G20 evolved to become the premier forum for discussion, planning, monitoring international economic cooperation. Thank you.
Delegate of the United States.
Good morning. As the delegate of the United States, she said that the US is not just a country, it is a place where very different cultures meet. It is not for freedom and opportunity. In our country, people from all over the world live and work together, bringing their traditions and ideas. We value diversity and believe that everyone has something important to contribute. Our country is proud of its culture and we push in democracy, freedom and progress. We understand the importance of the G20 summit. When we cooperate with other countries, let's work towards the right. Thank you.
Of the European Union.
Good morning, the delegates of the European Union. Our union is a political and economic union of 27 European countries with common goals and values. It is a unique entity as it is neither a country nor a federation but rather a supranational organization that exercises some of the powers typically associated with international governments. Our union is a full member of G20 as it is alongside 3 of its member states who are permanent members, and they are France, Germany and Italy. Our union has a lot of functions but there are 3 main ones. Firstly, our union promotes economic integration. Our union operates a single government which allows people, goods and services to move freely across the national borders. Our union also negotiates trade agreements with other countries on behalf of its member states. Secondly, our union develops and implements common policies in various areas such as agriculture, environment, energy and transport. Thirdly, our union is committed to protecting fundamental human rights such as right to freedom of expression, privacy and non-discrimination. As the union has no official single leader but is instead broken down into 7 institutions that share power. And 3 main ones are the European Commission, the European Parliament and the European Council, each with different leaders. However, the President of the European Commission is the closest candidate, the leader of our as will stand at the head of the ship driving the EU legislation and representing our union on international stage. In conclusion, our union is important as it allows European countries to collectively wield more influence on the global stage. And so many of its aspects contribute to the what make up the European Union. It all comes into one idea. Working together towards creating better future for the European citizens. Thank you.
Yes, the delegate of Japan.
Point of information, the delegate of Brazil would like to ask the delegate of Japan. The aging population in Japan is increasing significantly while the working population is decreasing gradually. What does the delegate have to say about this?
Is the question clear to the delegate of Japan? Yes.
Our country is facing an experiencing an increase in aging and population decrease of the population due to the several interconnected factors, low birth rates, longevity and healthcare, social factors. These are the some of the other common factors, and we are working on it in clear change.
Questions? Yes, the delegate of Australia.
From the delegate of Australia to the delegate of China, why did you conceive the emergence of COVID-19?
I hope the question is clear.
Yes. So, in a meeting with World Health Organization and China, it is clear that the first case of COVID-19 was reported in China, but later it was clear that it was just a pneumonia fever. So, there is no proof that we can say the COVID has been emerged from China. Okay.
Thank you, delegates. Are there any more questions on the floor? It is high time that more countries cooperate in combating global crisis. The current theme, Vasudhaiva Kudukambam, is a good model for all nations to adopt. Let us work together hand in hand for one earth, one family, one future. Let us pledge to stand together in unity to tackle the prevailing and upcoming issues and thereby make the world a better place.